There was a 7-2 ruling out of the U.S. Supreme Court yesterday, which is another big loss for Donald Trump. Now, this case was about the Alien Enemies Act, the act from the John Adams administration, where during times of invasion you can remove invading immigrants or invading forces without due process and send them back to their country. Um, he's been trying to use that to deport immigrants and say we're being overrun and invaded by immigrants, and that's what he's been trying to use. Now, multiple courts have cited against him. Well, one of his appeals has made it to the Supreme Court, and they heard this case on emergency basis about whether or not he can do this, and they said no, at least not temporarily. They did not rule on the full merits. They were ruling only on this emergency appeal to allow the deportations to continue. The Supreme Court said no, and they said the 12-hour to 24-hour time frame that a lot of these immigrants are given is not enough time for due process. Now, they did not say what enough time would actually be, but 12 to 24 hours is not it. Now, they did send the case back to a lower court that is still deciding other parts of this case. It was just whether or not the administration could continue to deport people in the meantime until the case is settled. Supreme Court said no. Now, as far as this time frame of 12 to 24 hours, Supreme Court said that's not enough. And most judges have said that's not enough time, that there needs to be more time for court cases and due process. And Donald Trump doesn't like that. He wants them gone. He wants them rounded up. One judge in Pennsylvania had said it should be 21 days. Now, that seems to be a reasonable number for how tightly packed court schedules are, etc. But like I said, Donald Trump doesn't want, due process and stuff. And he took to Truth Social bashing this decision, saying that the Supreme Court is being pressured by the left, and they're being, intimidated by the left, which isn't true. Donald Trump is the one trying to do all the intimidation. That's his tactic. But that's a typical trait from Donald Trump, is he will blame others for what he's actively doing in trying to, well, look over there. Either they're doing it too, or they're the ones really doing it. I'm the hero here. That's how Donald Trump acts. Supreme Court siding against Donald Trump. We will see how they rule in other cases against him. But this was one he thought he could win. He did not, and they will probably not hear another case on the Alien Enemies Act until next term, which does not start until October.